First tonight, stunning developments in the murder of Brent Luttrell, the northern Kent County man shot, stabbed, and left for dead. Tonight, we're getting a first glimpse inside of what may have happened that night from three people who are facing charges in this case. They give us a lot of new information with this during a one-on-one interview with 24 Hour News 8. They tell a story of drugs and money that unexpectedly turned to murder.
Just that I'm terribly sorry that things went the way they went.
I'd do anything to try to help that family get through it.
I cried. I've mourned for that family.
Three young men here, all in the Kent County Jail and all facing serious felony charges. These three, along with three others, are accused of taking part in the crime that ultimately ended in the killing of 34-year-old Brent Luttrell on September 8th at his northern Kent County home. These three admit their role in the crime, Zachary Bennett admitting that he helped relay information that put the situation in motion, though he was hesitant to say exactly what. He says he was not there the night that Luttrell was killed. He faces lesser felony charges, not murder.
People are asking me questions and I just answered them. I didn't even know there was actually going to be a robbery, let alone a murder.
But these two men are in much more serious trouble. Kevin Berry and Tyler Roan are both charged with murder in the case, and both admit that they were there that night. Roan says he was the driver, waited outside the house as it all went down, surprised to see Luttrell running toward him after he'd been shot and stabbed.
He came running out of the house, and when I looked over, I could see that he was bleeding profusely from his chest and his sides and his backs and everything else, and I panicked because I really didn't want the guy to get hurt. He was just saying that he'd been stabbed and shot, and then he asked me, hey, take me towards the hospital. He latches onto the side of the car, and I panic and try to take off.
Roan says he drove away with Luttrell hanging onto his car, and eventually he fell off.
I knew he was dead. He went down and he didn't move.
Kevin Berry admits that he was in the house armed with a gun, though he claims he never fired it. So afraid at the scene as the men prepared to rob Luttrell's home that he says he urinated on himself. He and Roan both say it was Parrish who fired the shots that killed Luttrell and his dog. He says they planned to find an alleged $80,000 stashed in the home, but in the end, they left empty-handed.
We left with less gas in the car, dead dog, and Mr. Luttrell dead in the street. I'm sorry. This isn't who I am.
We couldn't fit all of that we learned today in this report. We'll have much more about this tonight at 11, including our interview with the man accused of planning the whole thing. What he has to say about this case is coming up tonight on 24 Hour News 8 after the game.